Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Wilhelm Scream, and welcome back to the channel for more Destiny 2 news and intel. And today is the day before our weekly reset, so I did want to give a brief little recap on the week and some stuff that you probably want to pick up before tomorrow, as most of these things will be gone, and some of them I think every player should want. One of these things actually hasn't been available for almost 2 years, so we're going to run through all our best vendors this week, and if you enjoy this video and content and find it helpful, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and turn on the bell, the post notifications, so you never miss out on any future Destiny 2 content like this. You can also follow me on Instagram. It'll be linked in the description box down below, and remember, any of those things will also give you an entry into the next giveaway on this channel, and we do one every 1,000 subscribers. So you never want to miss out. When we reach 100,000 subscribers, we'll be giving away a console of your choice or a video card if you play on PC. Also, stick around to the end of the video for that secret hashtag. As always, you can leave it in the comment section for another entry into the next giveaway for this video. The number one thing I think every player should want that was available this week and was actually not that difficult to get, much to my surprise, was the Lotus Eater sidearm. This is by far one of the top 3, in my opinion, PvE weapons currently in the game. Sidearms are incredible, rocket sidearms specifically. All of them are good, but this one definitely is, like I said, in the top 3. The role you were looking for was Repulsor Brace and Destabilizing Rounds. I was lucky enough to get one of those myself. And it's right up there with Indebted Kindness, with Tanasha's Mastery. These are my roles on those. So consider farming that out with the last 24 hours you have before next week's reset, as it will be gone. This week's Nightfall and GM Nightfall, if you were trying to get the Adept version, was the PsyOps Battleground Cosmodrome, which was a lot easier than I actually first thought it would be. So even if you're just running the normal Nightfall for the non-Adept version, it's still going to be amazing, especially if you can get that role. Guardian Games is still going on for the next 2 weeks of the Act, so we will actually see Act 3 before we see the end of Guardian Games. I think it's kind of cool. Remember, this is a very short Act, only 3 weeks in it, so we will have 2 weeks left. Should be a new story update coming tomorrow as well, so make sure you finish off all the stuff regards to that. So any Court of Blades stuff, but also over at Eva, there is one weapon that I think everybody should probably try to get, as it's really playing well into the seasonal artifact mods, or episode artifact mods, is the Keraunios. Probably said it incorrectly. You can let me know exactly how to say this properly in the comment section down below, of course. Any comment about any of the feedback, always interested to hear your thoughts. Down below in the comment section, we'll give you another entry into the next giveaway, or anything I might mispronounce. If you've watched any channel, or any video on my channel before, excuse me, you probably know this is a common thing, common practice around here. But this is a very, very good trace rifle, especially with this season's, as I said, artifact mods. Again, just briefly on myself, I have a couple of good rolls. This is one that I recently got with Rolling Storm and Triple Tap. I also have a couple of rolls in my vault. I think I might have one in the Postmaster as well, with Recycled Energy and Rolling Storm. Another good roll. Rolling Storm, I think Eddy Current is another one. Let me just really also briefly just look at my vault really quick. For some reason that won't open my vault, but oh, there we go. I have one with Recycled Energy and Jolting Feedback, which is really good. One with eddy current and detonator beam, also very, very good. And triple tap rolling storm, I believe that's the same one I have on my person. But pick up these weapons. Again, you'll have a couple of weeks to get the best rolls on those, but if you're hunting for a particular roll and you don't know which one to get, that's definitely some rolls to check out. Doesn't seem like you can go too wrong with any of that stuff. Over at Tess, if you were looking for any of these exotic emotes or the Sparrow, make sure to pick these up, as they will be all gone tomorrow. Over at Banshee 44, in keeping with our trace rifle meta of the moment, I did want to suggest maybe checking this out if you're into crafting, because there is a lot of craftable weapons available this week. There's 4 out of the 6 weapons available from Banshee 44 were able to be crafted. We have the Path of Least Resistance, we have the Semotician, we have the Electric Principle, Elatic Principle. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. You can let me know. And then we have the Nezarac's Whisper. So if you're looking to craft any of these, there's some great rolls on Path of Least Resistance. There's also some really good stuff for Nezarac's Whisper, and the glaives are sort of, I would say, the hidden meta of this season. Certainly very good in PvE. They've never really not been, but very good in PvP at the moment as well. So this might be worth crafting, and of course in keeping with the trace rifle meta of the moment, you might want to check out the Path of Least Resistance. This one, not bad, but I'm sure just being able to craft any of these, there's definitely some better rolls for this. If you don't know what exactly I mean by crafting, these weapons can be purchased, and if you activate a deep sight harmonizer on them, you'll then be able to craft them at the crafting table. Gonna head over to a couple other vendors, one of whom always brings us the best stuff. And we'll be leaving tomorrow with a very good catalyst. We have Mr. XUR selling the Merciless Catalyst and the Izanagi's Burden Catalyst. Definitely pick both of these up, but I would favor the Izanagi's Burden Catalyst if you can only get one. Nothing great as far as exotic armor this week in terms of rolls go. We had our strange gear offers. Certainly something to own, the Thunderlord, if you don't have it, and the Sunshot, also very good. These both are sort of go-to if you don't know what to use PvE weapons, so especially more for DPS or boss damage and for ad clear. We also had the rolls on all of these weapons. If there was any that you didn't have, make sure to pick them up. Deep sight activation available on the Cell Spy Pitch Glass. I just like saying the name. Nothing really great in terms of legendary armor this week, but now we're going to head over to Ada 1, because there is a very unique item available there, which, as I said, hasn't been available for almost 2 years. Imagine that. 2 years just goes by so quick, especially when you play Destiny as much as I have. And I'm actually curious if I have this item or not myself. I pride myself in having a lot of different shaders, but the Midnight Exodent I did not have. But this shader has not been available for quite some time. Exigent. The Midnight Exigent. So many things I've probably said wrong already in today's video, but you can let me know what all of them are in the comments section down below. We also have the Tangled Bronze and the Dead Orbit Vision. Interestingly, that kind of looks the same as the other. That one looks very cool. I don't know why it's Dead Orbit themed. Tangled Bronze. Midnight Exigent look somewhat the same, but I'm sure they pair well with maybe slightly different pieces of armor. And then lastly, we're going to head over to Saint 14. And remember, if you are playing Trials this week, there is a very interesting loss forgiveness glitch. I did talk about it in my last video in more detail, but essentially it just revolves around leaving a Trials match, if you know you're going to lose, of course, after the end of a match, but before you would see, say, your accommodations screen. Go to the directory and just reload into another Trials map or another Trials match, and you will be able to maintain your score streaks if you're playing on a Lighthouse card, and you will not suffer a loss if you're playing on a Flawless card. So that'll allow you to get more loot, as if you do get a 7-win streak, regardless if you're playing on the Lighthouse passage or not. But if you are actually playing on a Lighthouse passage, still, you can get more rewards. I believe you'll still get an Adept from the, I don't know if it's the Lighthouse chest itself, but you can definitely come over here and get an Adept from Saint 14 in the tower. So if you're looking to maintain a score streak or a Flawless passage, just don't necessarily drop out of a match before the very end. That'll probably count as a loss, but after the match ends, if you've lost, just head over to the directory like so while the end of the match is concluding, before you see the accommodation screen, and just click on Trials and reload back in. And yes, I own the final shape, just not on my PC. And as you saw, the tomorrow's answer is the Adept weapon for Trials this week. Probably much more of a PvE focused weapon, but I think Trials being more accessible, it is better for PvE players to get involved, as there's always been some really good PvE focused weapons that were only available through Trials of Osiris. A few other weapons that you probably want to be on the lookout are Ashura's Care and yesterday's question. Shura's Wrath is also not a, I think, a very forgiving weapon for just normal Crucible if you're not somebody who plays very often. Exalted Truth, also very good, so you can also get access to the armor sets, which then you can turn into ornaments if you'd like over at 801. And now, just briefly, before we end today's video, if you are looking to farm out any of this week's dungeons, we have the Pit of Heresy, we have the Garden of Salvation raid. This is one of our featured dungeons and raids this week. We also have the Sundered Doctrine. Remember, this will also reset tomorrow. And we had the Spire of the Watcher as our other featured dungeon for the week. Remember, you can farm those out on one character. You do not need to reset. Normally, you only get 3 chances per week, 1 for each character. And then over on our Legends page, we also had the Prophecy dungeon available. We had the Vox Obscura Exoitc mission and the King's Fall raid. I believe next week we're going to have Deepstone Crypt as at least one of the featured raids, and if I'm not mistaken, it's going to be the Vow of the Disciple as the other featured raid. I can't remember the dungeons at the moment, but Good luck farming any of those out in the time we have left this week or next week. Remember to finish up any of your Court of Blades story mission stuff before next week, as there will be, I'm sure, a new plot point. And usually, to continue forward, you need to complete last week's. So you can either complete last week's now, or, I guess, at the time. But why wait? For people who don't want any spoilers, always try to finish all the storyline content before they actually release new storyline content. And that is going to conclude all the information for today's video. Hopefully you found something in this video helpful. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, as I said before. You can also follow me on Instagram. Be linked in the description box down below. Remember to do any of those things I mentioned for any of the future giveaways. You can also comment anything I might have mispronounced, any thoughts on any of the information today, or anything you're looking forward to coming this next week, what you've been thinking of Guardian Games, or you can leave a hashtag Guardian Games, or a hashtag Court of Blades, or a hashtag Heresy, or a hashtag The Final Shape in the comment section down below for another entry into the next giveaway for this video, or a hashtag Trials of Osiris, or a hashtag XUR, or hashtag 81. I'm sure you guys could think of anything else to leave down below. As always, I am Wilhelm Scream. Thanks so much for watching. Of course, we will see you next time.